It's important for the covered entities to be prepared for policy shifts, for changes that are happening in the industry. We are, feels like almost on a daily basis, experiencing challenges, right? How do they prepare? I would say one thing that is underrated is just reading the 340B statute, right? It is currently 8 pages long. And typically, if I go into a presentation and ask people to raise hands of who has read it, it's me. It's a couple other people in the room. But I think people, when they think about the 340B statute, they envision it to be big, to be overwhelming. And when I tell people it's 8 pages, all of a sudden there's this light bulb moment. I can read that, right? That's accessible to me. 8 pages, that's not terrible. And so I think one way to be ready for any sort of change is understand where we are, right? Because anything that would be a change that would happen through the courts would be based through what is in the statute. And then anything that would happen legislatively would look to build on or change what's in the statute. So then when you're doing any advocacy work, you need to know that statute to be able to be informed, to be able to articulate what your thoughts are. And it's funny because within the statute, there's so much information. There's also places where the statute is silent. That's a well-known 340B term, that the statute is silent, and sometimes that makes us a little bit frustrated. Other times it's a positive, but just starting with knowing what is already in place and then staying informed, right? Making sure that you're keeping up to date, whether it's attending conferences or reading information about the 340B program, attending webinars, plug for Ladies Lunch and Learn. But, just making sure that you're keeping up to speed and that when there are calls to weigh in with giving feedback on whether it's a guidance document or a legislation, like we've seen with the Gang of Six from the Senate, trying to put together their 340B bill in previous legislative sessions, be ready to respond, but also not just in that moment. Have things that you already have developed, have articulated, have your thoughts prepared, right? Like, what do you see as a solution? You know what your challenges are today, and having solutions already that you want to bring forward is a great way not to just be in the moment trying to respond, but be thoughtful about what are those solutions.